Some of the popular surf spots within the park include Cottons, Upper Trestles, Lower Trestles, Middles, Churches, Old Man's, and Trails. Many of the mornings are foggy around here, but typically the days will open up to sunshine. This tour of San Onofre State Park takes us from Trestles to Camp Pendleton, California. We start off on a shuttle that drives us from the beach to the main highway, which is the 5 freeway. From there we continue the tour via car along the 5 freeway, where we get a high-level view of the park as we move south toward Oceanside. The tour begins from the northern point of the state park near San Clemente, California. This video starts by capturing a sunny day at Lower Trestles with small waves in the background during a surfing contest. The ocean water rushing across the rocky shoreline at Trestles is also featured in this video. San Onofre State Park and the Surfrider Foundation have staved off countless attempts to build a toll road along the San Mateo Creek, the creek that drains into the northern portion of the park. This section of coastline is the last undeveloped beach area in Southern California and is fairly pristine. The San Onofre State Park sits between Christianitos Exit on the 5 freeway in San Clemente and the Oceanside Harbor. Middles. Middles is good for all board types and mostly for beginner to intermediate surfers. Middles provides fun waves with shoulders that open up to medium length rides. At Cottons, all types of boards will work. The place is mostly for beginners to intermediate level. It's pretty much a big hamburger wave that can line up for some rights and lefts, and it can bowl up on the inside ride as well. Upper Trestles, primarily for short boards and mostly intermediate to expert skills, provides a fun right that bowls on the inside with A-frames mixed in to offer some steep lefts. Lower Trestles, primarily for short boards and mostly for intermediate to expert skill. Lower Trestles is known for providing long, steep rights and hollow bowling lefts. Semi-arid desert featuring rolling hills that transform into large bluffs at the shore. The beach is lined with a variety of rocks that have traveled down local creeks and rivers and from deteriorating bluffs that stand tall over the beach area. The sand is a bit coarse. The ocean quality is fairly good in this area as sewage and runoff is minimal since there are not any developments in the immediate area. There are a number of small animals in the area, birds, and thriving sea life. Many of the trails are dirt trails, so be ready for a little silt and dust. There are several parking locations available to tourists and visitors. The price is currently $15 per day for parking. Camping is also available, although San Onofre State Park is not known for having the most comfortable accommodations. There are restrooms, but they are sparse and not always in the place you would like to have one. The park has added more restroom locations in recent years though. If you come to San Onofre, be prepared to walk. The place is all about beach trails. You will also see bicyclers and skateboarders traveling along the main cement path and road that runs along the coastline. Some of the popular areas within the park include San Mateo Creek, Trestles, Old Man's, and Trails. Right now you're looking at the state park in the middle of summer. You don't typically get parking at this part of the park, but it has been opened up for a World Tour surfing event. Churches. All board types pretty much work at churches. It's good for intermediate surfers. This spot can get a little dumpy and walled up on the inside, but it gives you something to work with. Next we head on over to Old Man's. And what can we say about Old Man's? This place is legendary. It's mostly for longboarders and mid-sized boards, and is for people of all skill levels. This spot has great vibe and dominated by longboarders, although smaller boards have begun to break into the lineup. This place can handle some size, that's for sure. Last but not least, we move on over to trails. Trails, pretty much all board types. Longer boards might be better in a lot of cases. The place is mostly for beginners. This spot seems to produce long, walled-up lines. The lines/waves tend to move slow enough to ride and face prior to the wave breaking. You can definitely score some gems at trails in the mix, but they do not seem to be as frequent as the waves produced up the coast at Trestles. This is a great place for beginners and for an end-of-day session for people that are camping out here.